Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. We have some massive wind happening. So we need to do a sound check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Without a bunch of wind. Oh, my little girls are getting blown a little bit. Yes, yes, yes. You can hear me. Okay. We have a little microphone situation. I'm not sure if it's helping or not, but we will trust. We might be getting some big gusts as we move around, and you might be seeing the boat spin, but you know, you're with me here on the high seas, so here we are. Here we are, here we are. How's everybody feeling? Who's here? Allison is here. Allison is here. Julia, good morning. Elisa. Loud and clear. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. Stephanie's here. Karen's here. Bonjour, bonjour. Happy July 1st. Juillet, c'est juillet aujourd'hui. Dave, happy July 1st. Your birthday month? Dave's turning 50 on Friday, everybody. He's so excited. He's so excited. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna. You're not excited? Do you not care, really? He really usually doesn't care about his birthdays at all. Like, he did, though. Mr. Marino did want to be in Greece for his birthday. And we got a special anniversary present this year for 24 years. Tell me if this isn't fitting. For 24 years. For our anniversary, do you know what we bought for each other? An anchor. A new anchor for the boat. Top of the line. Yes, of course. The best of the best of the best. For 24 years of marriage, we got the best anchor on the market. Yeah, so we're waiting. We're waiting in Montenegro for our anchor to clear customs and then get installed. So Dave's vision was to be in Greece on his birthday. I'm still gonna see him there, but he's already surrendered. He's like, I know this is something even better for the highest good. So we're hanging out in Montenegro. And because the winds have been very unpredictable, really for the past 3 days, we're kind of hanging out in the same bay. So we'll see. We'll see if we make it birthday in 3 days. Yeah. So we got an anchor. Isn't that funny? An anchor and a haircut. An anchor and highlights. Someone asked me yesterday, I saw in the comments, like, where'd you get your highlights done? How did you do your highlights? Listen, I know every single hair stylist would turn over. I'm not a hairstylist. I've never been trained. I really don't know what I'm doing. I just go with my gut. And you know what? I used boxed bleach. Boxed bleach. I say I've been practicing since I was a little girl. I used to use hydrogen peroxide. I went to the cosmetic store here in Montenegro and I got, I think it was L'Oreal even. I have a picture of it somewhere. Boxed bleach. And I got foils. This is a really funny video, actually. I got foils and I got a little comb with a thin end and I did the weaving thing, you know, that they do at the salon. And I was trying to stick the foil in. And at the end, it was so funny. It was such a mess. It was just like, forget the foil. Here's a strand. Here's a strand. It was not professional at all. But I like the look. So it all works out in the end. It all works out. And then I cut it. Yeah. An anchor. How did we like ACIM and makeup yesterday? I also saw, again, we're having women join Elegant Femme through ACIM every single day. It is so much fun. And we got a message from a woman yesterday saying, I'm brand new. I just found you. I was looking for support through ACIM. And I guess makeup and ACIM, I guess why not? So if you're brand new and you just found us, welcome. This is Elegant Femme's Guide to a Course in Miracles, which means we're going to bring everything to the table. Inside of Elegant Femme, we have the Indie, the Frenchie, and the New Yorker, which is a lifestyle, an opportunity for greater expansion. I don't really want to call it a system because it didn't come through me as a system. It was something that I downloaded personally when I was going through the biggest transformation of my life, which was when my husband and I lost our firstborn son, Mason, died in my arms. 23 years ago. And it was from that moment that I needed something in my life. I needed to remember who I was beyond the dream of being a mother, beyond the dream of that was my purpose at that particular point in time. I needed to remember that I had my power. I needed to choose again. I needed to remember that I wasn't the victim of my life, that I could stand in a place of power no matter what, that I was safe no matter what, that I was valuable no matter what. And the Femme types are what I channeled, really, and have been utilizing in my life since that moment 23 years ago. And now I've shared with thousands of women around the world. So if you're brand new and you hear us say Indie Frenchie New Yorker, that's what we're talking about. You can go take the Femme Design Assessment Test. Quiz, not a test. Not a test. No tests. There's no pass or fail. It's a quiz. It's fun. Or you can, or both. The Edge Meditation Series, which is brand new, something that I created while we were sailing on our 8.5-day journey across the seas from Corsica to Montenegro. Super potent, super powerful, amazing activation to realign us with our power. Not in a cliche way, because I was thinking about this yesterday, and even I was in chat and I was creating some things and looking at something brand new that we have coming that's really beautiful in this sequence with the Edge meditation and Femme Riche and the silent contract call and all these gorgeous things that have been coming through. And I was saying, I want to be aware of using the words feminine power because it's something that's become kind of trendy and cliche. But the depth of that is a really beautiful thing as women remember their power, not in an againstness, not, girls can do what guys can do. It's not that energy. It's not a proving energy. It's not a swing of the pendulum energy. It's not a feminist movement. It's nothing like that. It's a deep remembering of who we are, our power, our ability to co-create exactly what we desire. Exactly what we desire. And if we see something in our external world that we don't like, we know, not from, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Oh, I should feel guilty. I should be a better creator. Not from that, from a remembering of, there was something in me that created that. I know it's a bold thing to say. I know all of us have been through some really intense things. And again, it's not from a place of guilt or judgment or punishment in any way. It's from a place of extraordinary power. There's something in me that felt like I needed that in some way. Right? So that's what we're talking about. Tara, I know you mentioned yesterday we can find the Edge meditation, but I forgot. Can you guide me again? Yes, of course. Just go to, and we will make sure it's in the description as well, but you can go to elegantfemme.com/edge, EDGE. It's so powerful. We're actually doing something really, really beautiful with the back end of that. I'm including new things as I feel called. It's something that I see that will be transformed shortly into the Edge Sanctuary, which is going to be a beautiful place for women to come to rest virtually, to rest, to realign, to remember, to allow, to expand. So right now, Julia, is it Julia or Julie? Julia, I think. I don't have my glass on. Julia, you can go right as soon as we're done here. You can register for the Edge. The meditations are there. They're free. They're yours to keep, to enjoy, to be with, not as a rush, not as a force, not as any kind of urgency, as a place to come and rest. There's an indie activation, a Frenchie activation, and a New Yorker activation, as well as prayers that I've dropped in there. Again, I'm expanding the Edge Sanctuary. There are going to be prayers and activations for specific moments in our lives. Like, for example, when we forget that we're abundant and we're operating in a default of scarcity. I'm going to have a special activation in there. I'll be sharing prayer cards. And if you can even see my phone, so a screensaver on my phone, this says, I do not apologize for my desire. I do not dilute my devotion. I do not dress my dreams in modesty. I walk with God in silk and power. So I'm including some really beautiful, I don't know if you could see that, with the glare, some beautiful screenshots that you can download on your phone It's a gorgeous place for me to play and be with you inside of an extraordinary conversation. That's what the edge is. And then there are many, many opportunities if you want to take it deeper with Elegant Femme. Of course, many, all the way from the Femme design assessment, all the way into the Femme types, into all the beautiful places that you might be called. Femme riche, big one right now. I applied what you showed us last evening for our premiere performance before Paris leaving tomorrow. What is your favorite hair salon in Paris and spa? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So many. So many. Let me see as we begin. Let me see if I can think of it real quick before we get, not even real quick. Let me just be with it for a minute, Karen. I have a special hairstylist that I go to that's kind of like a little secret. So let me see what I can share with you publicly. Let's see. Stephanie, I love this so much about you. The do-it-yourself allowing to call it like that just resonates. Yeah, look, I'm not saying that everyone should go chop their hair or give themselves highlights. Like, I literally drove my mom crazy growing up. Crazy. We could have an interview with my mom live and she'd be like, listen, do you know how many times I caught this girl in the bathroom with scissors cutting her own hair? I've been doing this since I was like 5 or 6. Right? So I'm not suggesting anyone does it. You know what? I just trust myself this way. I know what I like. I know what I like. I know what I want it to look like in the end. My hair, whether it's my hair or my life or the way that I'm cooking a meal, I don't follow a recipe ever, ever, ever. I don't use measuring spoons. Again, I am not saying this is the right way. This is just Tara. This is just very much me. I do not like to be boxed in. I do not like to be told what to do. I do not like to be told that there's one right way to do anything at all. And if I have a vision, and it doesn't mean it always turns out perfectly, right? There have been many times where I've had orange hair, okay? Many times when I've needed to go back and be like, oh, I missed that part. But I don't get upset about it. It's just fun for me. I'm like, oh, I could get another box of dye. I don't have any toner here, by the way. That's something I've been able to find in the Montenegro pharmacy at this point. So, but for me, it's fun. It's an experiment. There's always an opportunity to course correct. And I know we're talking about something that might seem like light. It is light. Like our hair might seem, I'll say, not important. And you might be at this particular point in time considering a change in career or opening your heart and falling deeply in love, whether you're looking for a partner or whether you're with somebody right now. I have clients that have been in marriages for years who recognize when they work with me, oh my gosh, I'm not allowing myself to fully fall in love with my partner that I've been with for a decade or whatever it might be. So you might be somewhere in the decision-making process in your life where you're like, I'm on my edge. This is what the edge is about, right? I'm on my edge. Am I going all in? Can I trust myself? Do I want short hair? Do I want to open my heart and fall in love? Do I want to leave my job? Do I want to be provided for? Do I want to sail around the world? Do I want a new wardrobe? Do I want to live into a body that makes me feel extraordinary? Do I want to tell myself every day, I am so beautiful. I am so beautiful. I am so perfect. I am so loved. I am so deeply in love. I have the hottest, sexiest husband in the world. I say that every day. I say it out loud every day. I tell Dave every day, I have the hottest, sexiest husband in the whole world. And I believe it. I see it. I know I have it. I know I do. I am so rich. Money is overflowing everywhere. I am so blessed. I am so happy. Hey, what do we want? What do we want? What does that bring up inside of you? How does that feel in your body? Let's play in this lifetime in this way. So again, if you're brand new, we usually don't have this long of an intro. Sometimes we do. Don't be saying that, Tara, because you know it's true. I'll get on here and I'll just share my heart. What's present for me, what's pouring through me on a daily basis, and we'll move into the lesson. So, Elegant Femme's Guide to A Course in Miracles. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. always intending to integrate the spiritual and the physical, because we're not just here for an ethereal, intangible conversation where we sit together for 30-ish minutes and we just talk about something that sounds good on paper. That's not why we're here. We're here to walk this way. We're here to honor the lesson, to embody the lesson, to feel the lesson in the real world in real time as you move through things. Right? No matter if, again, hair to me is a big deal. Okay. I know we're talking a lot about hair. I had long hair. Some of you have been following me for a decade plus. I had long hair down to my waist. And I thought, this is what makes me feminine. This is what makes me beautiful. Everyone tells me they love my hair. I have long, thick, gorgeous hair. It was like a signature of mine for sure. In fact, I'll tell you something. 3 days before I cut my hair, I had someone, a colleague of mine, she actually does a lot of things for Elegant Femme. She works for Elegant Femme. She sent me a message and said, oh my God, I was just going through old photos of you. Your long hair is so beautiful. And that little part of me that was like, oh my gosh, do I not cut it? And instead of going inside of myself and being like, oh, I said to her, you know what? Thank you so much. I'm getting ready to cut it again. And she said, I'm sure it's so much more practical on the boat to be short. And I was like, yeah, but that's not why. It's because I want to, because I love it, because I think it's chic and sexy, modern. It's got a style. It's got sass. It's like, why not? It feels free, because we can all hide behind practicality, can't we? We can all justify our desires. Here comes the wind. Right? Well, I left my job because it really wasn't paying, or because I felt. We do not need to explain or justify our desires. When someone asks you why, you say, because I want to, because I desire to, because I'm called to, because I feel like it. Why'd you do that? Because I felt like it. It doesn't have to be a bitchy way. I felt like it. I wanted to. I was called to. I desired to. Yeah? All right. Shall we move on to the lesson today? Yes. Knowing what you like, not boxed in, having fun. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I love that you're all welcoming Julia. Favorite hair salon in Paris and the spa. I'm trying to think what I can share with you, Karen, publicly, because I share these kinds of very special nuances about Paris with private clients who come there with me, because I have a little black Rolodex and a special places that I go in Paris that I've curated over the years. So, all right, let's see. Let us see. I'm trying to think, Karen, if I can say something. I don't know. Let me be with it. See how I feel about it. I want to be integrity with myself. So, but really, in Paris, you can go to all. There's so many good hairdressers in Paris. So many. So many. The Ritz Spa is very, very beautiful. We were just there. The Chanel Spa is in there. Well, it used to be Chanel. I don't know that it's Chanel Spa anymore. But the Ritz, the spa at the Ritz is very, very gorgeous. The Spa de Maurice in the first is really beautiful. Meurice. So that's what I feel comfortable sharing at this point. But really, you can't go wrong because it's Paris. Paris. You can't go wrong. All right, gorgeous ladies. 198. All right. So over these past few lessons, I know is today Monday or Tuesday? I don't remember. Happy today. I think it's Tuesday. Over this past few lessons, we've been talking about gratitude. We've been talking about letting go of sacrifice. We've been talking about taking great responsibility in our lives. And yesterday, it can be, but gratitude I earn. The course spoke about not giving with scarcity mindset, really. Not giving with the idea of, oh, but I'm not being thanked for it. Like withdrawing in any way our gratitude, withdrawing in any way what we give. If we give someone our time, our energy, a gift in the physical world, could be a physical thing, and they don't thank us in a way that we feel is appropriate or enough, that the old dynamic of going into martyr syndrome of, oh my gosh, I do so much for you, I can't believe you don't thank me, that overcompensation, that obligation energy, and we pull it back. The Course shared yesterday, look, when we do that, we're buying into the illusion that God could actually do that God could give and take away. That old dynamic that every single one of us has felt or heard, oh, the other shoe's going to drop. Don't let things get too good. You could lose it. And the Course said yesterday, none of that is true. As you give, you receive. Gratitude is already given. Once you give, it's given. Once you give, it's given. That's how it works. Now today, lesson 198, only my condemnation injures me. And this is very similar to a lesson that we've heard before, right? That only I can cause myself pain. That it exists in my mind. Only I, inside of my mind, can cause myself any pain or suffering. It's all inside. So this is, at least at first glance, a very, very similar lesson. And the Course does this throughout the entire year, the entire 365 days. It's a little bit of a different angle, but it's always saying the same thing. Always, always, always. That we are love, that we are light, that there is nothing we could do to be any different. That we exist in the mind of God, that we will always be as God created us, that we are free to co-create and to see things through that lens. That's it. And yet, because we're in the physical world, we unravel it. All right, again, 198, only my condemnation injures me. Injury is impossible. Now, we've talked about this many times before, that every single one of us could have a court case that says, listen, Tara, I've been hurt. I've been physically hurt, whether I've broken a bone or stubbed my toe or had a headache or someone hurt me or I had a love that passed away, or like, don't you tell me that pain isn't real, that suffering isn't real. And we are not here to be in any againstness. We are not here to prove a court case. Every single one of us has the opportunity to find what we're looking for. So we could all make a really good case for what we see. The opportunity inside of this conversation is to see things differently. I wonder. I'm curious. Wow, I wonder if I considered it that way. How does it feel inside of me? Not because I'm sharing it with you this way and it means it is this way. It's not it has to be this way because I'm saying it. It's a consideration. It's a consideration inside. I wonder what's here for me inside of this. Injury is impossible, and yet illusion makes illusion. If you can condemn, you can be injured, for you have believed that you can injure. And the right you have established for yourself can now be used against you, till you lay it down as valueless, unwanted, and unreal. Then does illusion cease to have effects, and those it seemed to have will be undone. Then you are free, for freedom is your gift, and now you can receive the gift you gave. Okay, we have the famous many underlinings happening inside of here. The Course is mentioned before. Even in illusion, the Course will say, however, in the unraveling of the illusion, we will utilize what you believe. What you believe. And whatever we believe to be true will work for us. Whatever we believe to be true will work for us. So there's a lesson that says, right, look, medication, doesn't say Tylenol, but it says pills, potions, basically Tylenol, whatever. It doesn't even, it's not a thing. It's not even a thing because your body follows your mind. So you don't need any of those things. But if you believe they work for you, they'll work for you. Whatever we believe, we will experience. So what are we looking for? What are we looking to justify? Are we on the side of justifying, oh yes, pain does exist. Oh yes, bad things happen in the world. Oh yes, this is, I look at my bank account. Oh yes, look, are we justifying something that we actually don't want to be experiencing? And do we believe it? Because if we believe it, we will experience it. Where are we putting our attention? Where are we putting our focus? If we really believe that we are the co-creators of our world and we get to co-create our reality, what are we looking for? Because we will find what we're looking for every time, without doubt. Every time. When we are seeing something we don't want to see, when we are experiencing something we don't want to be experiencing, we can beautifully ask ourselves inside, what am I looking for in this moment? We've all done this. Have you ever caught yourself looking for reasons to be upset and pissed off? You might not be consciously, but if you can catch yourself in that moment, like, oh my gosh, I am looking for things to annoy me right now. I'm actually looking for them and I can find them. And in that moment, if we say to ourselves, I'm going to look for reasons to feel good right now. I'm going to look for reasons to feel beautiful, to feel abundant, to feel safe, to feel whole, to feel good in my body, to feel healthy in my body. My oldest son, Dominic, he calls us, not very often. We talk to Nico every day, sometimes more than once a day. We hear from Dominic not very often. Once a week, maybe. But you know what Dominic says every time he calls us? Hey guys, what's good? What's good? That's how he talks on the phone. Hey mom and dad, what's good? What's good? And this has been this kid's demeanor forever. This is how this kid sees the world. What's good? And you know, that day, the last time we talked to him, and we answered the phone, we said, hey Dom, he said, hey guys, what's good? And he's talking and, and he's like, oh my gosh, I have something to tell you guys. He goes, Mom, you're going to get this. You're going to really love this, Mom. Dad, you're going to say, what the heck? But no, Dad, you're going to get it too. You're going to love this. And we're like, okay. And he's like, I got pulled over today. You what? I got pulled over on my way to work. Dave goes, were you speeding? Yeah, I was speeding. I was late for work. And we're waiting for okay, we're going to love this. And he said, Mom, listen to this. Do you know what a good manifester I am? I don't even know why, because he works very, very early. He has to be at the bagel shop at 6 a.m. So he gets up at 5:30. It's like a minute or two before I got pulled over, in my head, I had a vision of me getting pulled over and saying to the cop, oh, can you hold on a second? I got to text my boss and tell him I'm going to be late for work. Literally, he said, less than 5 minutes later, he got pulled over. And he was there with the cop and he said, can you just give me a minute? I got to text my boss and let him know I'm going to be late for work. And he had a beautiful conversation with the cop and talked about school and, didn't get a ticket and just all those beautiful things. And then Dominic said, and I had this weird feeling inside to tell the cop, why don't you just come into the bagel shop later? I'll take care of you. I'll get you a bagel, whatever. And he goes, but I didn't say it. I was like, I got to get to work. I didn't say it. He's working. A couple hours later, the cop comes into the bagel shop. Dominic hooks him up, gets him a bagel, him and his partner. Okay, this is a way to look at life. How could he have looked at that? Really? How many of us get pulled over and they're like, oh my God, I have something to tell you. I'm such a good manifester. That's not how the majority of us look at the world, right? But we can. We can. Not only did my son not lose any of his confidence or identity or beat himself up or make himself wrong, and thank goodness he was safe. Yes, of course. Yes, of course, right? I'm not trying to make light of that. He's going a little fast, right? Not trying to make light of that. But any one of us can take a circumstance like that and be like, oh my gosh, we make ourselves wrong. We punish ourselves. We get angry. It comes out sideways. We carry it with us. We carry a grudge. Then we project it out into the world, right? We do this unknowingly. Anything that happens, literally anything. And I say this from the depth of my heart because I know all of us have been through some intense things in life, I am able to say, I wasn't able to say it right away, okay? But I am able to say, and it took me about a year, I am able to say with such extraordinary love inside that my son passing away in my arms was one of the greatest gifts of my life. It birthed me. It changed me. It opened me. I am not the woman that I would have been. Dave and I don't have the marriage that I know our marriage has been strengthened because of this. It's like crazy, like I don't know what 88% of couples that don't make it after the loss of a child. Everything that happens to us can be the best thing that happens to us. Everything, 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 everything. It's a choice. It really is a choice. And I'm not saying to do a spiritual bypass and just go into numbness and like stoic, like, okay, Tara says the best thing that happened to me. Okay, I'm just going to shove all my emotions down into my big toe and pretend that, no. We get to feel it. And we get to trust ourselves with the feeling. Hold on, here comes a plane. Are you feeling this? Are you feeling this? This is real freedom. So when the Course says, then you are free, for freedom is your gift, and now you can receive the gift you gave. This is real freedom. This is freedom. I choose. I choose my experience. God, help me see this differently. Help me see this differently. I choose, I choose, I choose. Condemn, and you are made a prisoner. Forgive, and you are freed. Such is the law that rules perception. And it is not a law that knowledge understands, for freedom is a part of knowledge. It is not a law that knowledge understands. Freedom is a part of knowledge. It's beautiful. To condemn is thus impossible in truth. What seems to be its influence and its effects have not occurred at all. So again, the Course is saying all of this is not real anyway, but because you believe it, we need to utilize this to unravel it, even though it's not even real. Sometimes Dave and I will be like, we're in the Matrix. Like, are you even real? Is this life? Are we like in a simulation? Look at what we created. Now, you might think we're crazy, but that's okay. That's us. That's us looking at life through the lens of like, we get to literally build this with building blocks. This is how we quantum leap. This is how we create parallel worlds. This is what I teach inside of our highest end mastermind, which is Chateau Neuf. How do women really live into this? I have women creating extraordinary lives for themselves in that space. Women literally healing in ways that are unbeknownst to the medical community. Women who are stepping into powerful places as leaders inside of their company, creating billion-dollar companies, like all of these things occurring. All of this is possible. Whatever you want is possible. Okay. To condemn is impossible. Yet we must deal with them a while as if they had, right? What seems to be influence and its effects have not occurred at all. But we must deal with them as a while as if they had, right? We're in this physical world, so there's some things we gotta deal with. Yeah. Illusions make illusion, except one. Forgiveness is the illusion that is answer to the rest. So this is beautiful to remember as well. The Course is saying even forgiveness is an illusion because you never really did anything wrong. You never really forgot who you are. You never really left the mind of God. And that's all the forgiveness is. Okay, when we've been taught since we were little, well, forgive you, tell your brother you're sorry for hitting him or taking his toy. Tell your sister you're sorry. Tell your friend you're sorry. Tell your husband you're sorry. It's not that. That's not what it is. Forgiveness is I forgive myself for buying into the illusion that I don't know who I am. I forgive myself for forgetting that I am God. I forgive myself for forgetting that I am life, that I am light. That's what it is. And the Course is saying right here, look, that's not even, forgiveness is an illusion too, because you never really, really forget. You're always in the mind of God. I forgive myself for buying into the illusion that I require to punish myself. Forgiving and forgetting is the most beautiful thing that you can do all throughout the day. You have an experience you don't like, and you react in a way that you don't like, forgive and forget. So I share that story with you about Dominic, and you might be like, oh my gosh, I got a ticket the other day and I was a total a-hole about it. It's like it ruined my whole day, or I stubbed my toe and I made it a thing, or I yelled at my husband, or I yelled at my kids, or I did. If you are in a space of separation, I can share that story with you about Dominic, and you can be like, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. I'm judging myself. I got to judge myself. I feel so bad. Oh my God, I'm doing this whole thing wrong. What's wrong with me? I've been attending ACIM lessons every single day, and I still was a jerk. Instead of going there, you go, oh my gosh, I'm just remembering. I'm okay. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. Did I react in a way that, okay, I'm not so proud of? Yeah, okay, I love you. That's it. That is it. That is it. That is it. That is it. Stop making yourself wrong. Stop punishing yourself. Stop buying into the illusion that the way to course correct your behavior is to make yourself wrong and belittle yourself and criticize yourself and judge yourself. That is an old paradigm. It doesn't work. Forgive and forget. That's it. Forgive yourself, forget it, move on. I'm serious. All right. Forgiveness sweeps all other dreams away, and though it is itself a dream, it breeds no others. All illusions save this one must multiply 1,000-fold, but this is where illusions end. Forgiveness is the end of dreams because it is a dream of waking. That's so gorgeous. It itself is not, when the Course does this, all these words, it is not itself the truth. Yet does it point to where the truth must be. It gives direction with certainty of God itself. It is a dream in which you awaken to self and to God, knowing you are one. Forgiveness is the only road that leads out of disaster, past all suffering, and finally away from death. We've been taught, no, you gotta punish. You gotta punish. Don't forgive too easily. Don't forgive that person too easily. They might do it again. They got to pay the consequences. This doesn't work. It doesn't work. And it's all inside of us anyway. All of it's inside of us. Have you played that game with yourself? Like, oh, I can't take myself off the hook. Try taking yourself off the hook. Try literally just loving yourself like a crazy. I love you. 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 I forgive you. I love you. I forgive you for judging yourself as anything less than amazing sauce. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. Dave and I say this to each other all day long too. I don't know. Yesterday, I think Dave told me he loved me 200 times. I was laying on the paddleboard. He's like, Tara, yeah, I love you. Love you too, babe. 5 minutes later, babe, yeah, you're the best. I love you. I love you too, Dave. We do this sometimes, and I know he's really telling himself, right? I don't know what he was working on, but he must have been moving through something where he needed to remind himself of how much he loved himself. I don't know what it was. It might have been the responsible choice. It might have been his YouTube thing coming out. I don't know what it was. But we're at the point in our relationship and our life now, we're like, okay, I need to be reminded. He needs to know. He needs to know he's loved. Okay. Why would you oppose it, quarrel with it, seek to find 1,000 ways in which it must be wrong, 1,000 other possibilities, right? We do this too. No, it can't be that easy. I can't just feel good. Let me find a bunch of reasons why it's not okay to feel good. I know I'm not perfect. Let me find all the ways. We will find what we're looking for. What are we looking for? Is it not wiser to be glad you hold the answer to your problems in your hand? Is it not more intelligent to thank the one who gives salvation and accept the gift with gratitude? And is it not a kindness to yourself to hear the voice and learn the simple lesson God would teach instead of trying to dismiss the words and substitute your own? God's words will work. God's words will save. God's words contain all hope, all blessings, all joy that can ever be found upon this earth. God's words are born in God and come to you with heaven's love upon them. Those who hear God's words have heard the song of heaven, for these are the words in which all merge as one at last. And as this one will fade away, the word of God will come to take its place, for it will be remembered then and loved. This world has many seeming separate haunts where mercy has no meaning and attack appears justified. Yet all are one, a place where death is offered to you and to God. You may think they have accepted, but if you will look again upon the place where you behold their blood, okay, I know, it gets like a little Harry Potter, Halloween, like we don't need to feel like scared of these words. The Course uses this level of intensity to paint a picture of where we go inside of ourselves, where we believe inside of ourselves in the illusion, when we buy into fear, when we buy into attack, when we buy into the illusion that death is real. Does our body complete and be laid down? Yes. Do we go with it? No, we don't. This is what the Course is saying. You get to feel what you want to feel about it. Okay, so when it's using this like, but if you will look again upon the place where you beheld their blood, you will perceive a miracle instead. How foolish to believe that they could die. How foolish to believe you can attack. How mad to think that you could be condemned and that the Holy Son of God can die. So how mad to think that you could be condemned and that you could even die. The stillness of yourself remains unmoved, untouched by thoughts like these, and unaware of any condemnation which could need forgiveness. Dreams of any kind are strange and alien to truth. And what but the truth could have a thought which builds a bridge to that brings illusions to the other side? Today we practice letting freedom come to make its home with you. The truth bestows these words upon your mind that you may find the key to light and let the darkness end. Only my condemnation injures me. Only my own forgiveness sets me free. This is the lesson for today. This is the repetition inside. And next to it, I have a bunch of hearts, and it says, La vérité, the truth, la vérité. Only my condemnation injures me. Only my own forgiveness sets me free. That's a beautiful harmony, beautiful background music, beautiful place to default to today. Do not forget today that there can be no form of suffering that fails to hide an unforgiving thought. Oh, this is so true. And yet when we're in it, it's like, oh, so it can be so hard to see. So if you're moving through something really challenging and you're thinking like, this is pissing me off, don't tell me that I'm not hurting. Don't tell me that I'm not suffering. Don't tell me that I'm not in pain. We know somebody that we met recently whose father just passed away, right? Like we go through really intense things inside this physical world. So if you're in one of those really intense things, this isn't about trying to get to the other side as quickly as possible and denying your humanness. This is an opportunity to love yourself through it no matter what and continually ask God, help me see this differently. Help me see this differently. Again, not as a bypass, not as making yourself wrong inside of any kind of grief that you might feel, gifting yourself permission to feel whatever it is you require to feel. Nor can there be a form of pain forgiveness cannot heal. Accept the one illusion which proclaims there is no condemnation in you, and heaven is remembered instantly, the world forgotten, and its weird beliefs forgot with it, as the face of Christ appears unveiled at last in this one dream. That is the gift the Holy Spirit holds for you from God. Let today be celebrated both on earth and in your holy home as well. Be kind to both, as you forgive the trespasses you thought them guilty of. Okay, so this is definitely, right? If you were in church and it's like, our Father who art in heaven, you're like, oh my gosh, why is this talking about this? Why is this talking about trespasses? I thought this book was different. I thought it wasn't about religion. I thought it wasn't about suffering. I thought, I believe it utilizes, and again, it's Helen, the author, says that this is channeled through her in the voice of Jesus Christ. And I believe, I don't really know, I would do some more research, that she really sees that as a man, a historical figure that lived this way and now can support us in living this way. Not because, how do I say this? Not because there is one, okay, I'm just going to say it how it's coming out, and I'm just going to trust for you to receive it any way you require to, and your own inner knowing to discern what's true for you. Not because there is one Jesus Christ. I believe Christ consciousness is in every single one of us, that we are Christ consciousness. So when we hear Christ appears in one last dream, it's the awakening of us inside of us to the light of Christ, to Christ consciousness, to the oneness, to the wholeness, to the truth. That's how I receive this. That's how I see this. And listen to this really beautifully. Let today be celebrated both on earth and in your holy home. Be kind to both as you forgive the trespasses you thought them guilty of. It's not, Father, like, forgive our trespasses. It's that you thought you were guilty of. Going back to the core truth inside of the Course, that none of that's really true anyways. And see your innocence shining upon you from the face of Christ. Not I'm bad, I'm a sinner, I did something wrong. Not Christ died for my sins and suffered for me. And this is a sacrificial lamb storyline that I don't feel is in service personally. I feel there's really another powerful, empowering, beautiful way to hear that. Now is there silence all around the world. Now is there stillness where before was a frantic rush of thoughts that made no sense. Now is there tranquil light across the face of earth, made quiet in a dreamless sleep. And now the word of God alone remains upon it. Only that can be perceived an instant longer. Then are symbols done, and everything you thought you made completely vanished from the mind that God forever knows to be you. There is no condemnation in you. You are perfect in your holiness. You need no thoughts of mercy. Who could give you gifts when everything is yours? And who could dream of offering forgiveness to you? So like, it gets wordy, hold on. Here is how it says, and who could dream of offering forgiveness to the Son of sinlessness itself? So like to him whose Son he is, that to behold the Son is to perceive no more and only know the Father. Lots of words. In this vision of the Son, in this vision of you, so brief that not an instant stands between the single sight and timelessness itself, you see the vision of yourself, and then you disappear forever into God. How beautiful. Today we come still nearer to the end of everything that yet would stand between this vision and our sight. And we are glad that we have come this far and recognize that he who brought us here will not forsaken us now. For God would give us the gift that God has given us today. Now is the time for your deliverance. The time has come. The time has come today. And I put underneath, it's a now thing. It's a now thing. Okay, today was a very, very long lesson. If I had turned the page and seen how much longer it was, I wouldn't have riffed so long. But I did. So here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Woo! This is so perfect to go with the conversation I had with our son, reframing for me from religious into personal sovereignty. Amen. 100%. 100%. 100%. Yes. This is what I believe. This is what I feel. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to feel, what to think, how to interpret. Really, I'm here to share with you my interpretation, my feeling, my resonance, what I've grown through inside of a greater spiritual context that has really, really supported me in getting out of any limitation and getting out of any sacrificial energy and getting out of any guilt energy, any obligation energy, any real kind of small-minded limitation that I feel has unintentionally created the illusion that guilt is a necessary form of love. And again, I'm not against religion in any way. I think that there are some really beautiful, beautiful things inside of religion for sure. And the ceremony of it. And now where I am in my life, being able to go into a church and hear the prayers and see things really differently than I was able to before. But my mind is also far expanded beyond the context that I think is often taught there. That's for me. Okay. So you receive it however you want. I love this conversation. I did say when I got back from seeing my sister give birth at almost 46 years old to my baby niece, I said, okay, we're going to go there. We're going to go into the edge, and we're going to speak about consciousness in a way that I haven't before. And we're doing it. So I'm grateful. I'm really grateful for the conversation. And for those of you that are still here 50 minutes in, holy wow. Holy wow. Holy wow. Hi from the Netherlands, just discovered, but I love it so much. Welcome. Welcome. Is it Alaya? A-L-A-I. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here with us for the first time. Happy Canada Day. All right. I love you all so much. This is a really big call. Dropped a whole tray of fries face down on the floor, sending you laughing. I hope they were delicious. Oh, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Have a beautiful day. And let's just close. Father, Mother, God, thank you so much for the stunning conversation today. Thank you for the freedom to utilize time as it was meant to be utilized, to value time in a way that it was meant to be valued, to prioritize what it is that truly matters. I am deeply, deeply grateful for every single soul here, live with me on the replay in this moment, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, whenever, wherever. Just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Leave a comment. Let me know you're here. Let me know what's serving you inside of this space. And of course, as I've shared, Elegant Femme is here to support you in taking it deeper if that's something that feels resonant to you at this time. I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Mwah.